Hi, and welcome back to Jaffe Jack Productions. As usual, I'm Jesse. Let's get into This Week in Geek. So, what I'm covering this week is all the news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. All the trailers and information about movies and TV shows that I found interesting. So, let's jump right into that amazing Justice League trailer. So, it maintained my same level of excitement for the movie that I've had, with a little bit of skepticism, still, as usual. This is because I've been burned before, because I really wasn't a fan of Batman v Superman, and it was a 2-hour movie to sit through in theaters. But with Wonder Woman, my hopes were definitely met and then exceeded upon. Wonder Woman was an amazing film, and that's why they used Wonder Woman to open up this trailer. They want to say, yes, this is going to be like this. It's still going to have that same energy. It's going to be good. That's what kind of emotions they want to evoke in the viewer. So, like I said, but it still maintain that same level of excitement. I don't know how they're going to go with it. It bugs me that they have 5 to become 6 members of the Justice League instead of their normal 7. I get it. This is how they're going to resurrect Superman as the number 6, but it bugs me that they don't have a 7. That brings me to this, the end part of the trailer, where we see Alfred working on something, and something comes up to him. Now, a lot of people are speculating this is Superman or Green Lantern. The Superman is easy, because Superman is definitely going to be resurrected in this movie. He is definitely going to come back. He's in promotional photos for the movie. He's definitely going to be there. But would they reveal him like this? Is this how they're going to reveal Superman? Or is it this is how they're going to reveal the 7th character? I hope, personally, that's going to be the reveal of the 7th character. Like I said, a lot of people think it might be Green Lantern. But it could possibly be somebody like Shazam. Now, they haven't cast Shazam, so it's a little out there for me. There you go. I personally think it could be somebody like Black Adam, a villain. Now, Black Adam's whole shtick is he wants to control the world. He runs his own country. He's the leader of it. He treats his people fairly well. He is, in most respects, an anti-hero. This is what The Rock has been toting for a long time now. But if they bring him to save the world, this would make sense, because he wants to control the world for himself. He does not want it seen laid to waste, and that is exactly what Steppenwolf will do to bring on a new apocalypse. Now that leads us directly into the next announcement. The announcement that Shazam will be a movie coming to DCEU, which is great. Shazam can definitely be told as a really interesting story. Young Billy Batson has to struggle with the fact that he's 10 years old, but when he transforms, he's in the body of an adult. People treat him as an adult, but he's not. He may have the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, and everything else, but he's still just a kid. There's a lot of interesting stories you can do with this, and I'm just going to leave it at that. There's not really much else I personally know about Shazam. He hasn't really interested me that much. I've enjoyed his cameos in the Justice League and Young Justice, especially when they figure out that, yes, Shazam is still just a kid, and the fact that Batman has always known, let's face it, that's not that big a surprise that Batman would know. He comes to a town very near him, and he does his research. Now, moving right along, I'm going to go into the DC television news that came out of Comic-Con. This was a lot of trailers released. The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, a little more about Black Lightning, which is great, and a reveal of a new animated show featuring The Ray, I believe. So, let's get into it. Let's start with Arrow. So, with Arrow, we got the reveal of several characters that were alive after the explosion on the island. Well, by several, I mean the one. And that's the new Black Canary. Everybody else was absent from these trailers, which is a good thing. That means they're keeping us in the suspense of who lived or who died. Most of these characters are going to survive, because most of them have a full season regular character order, like Wild Dog, Mr. Terrific, Felicity Smoke, and Diggle. But their minds might change about Oliver and his mission. And Oliver himself is going to change, because it revealed he's going to have more interactions with his son. Did his son's mother survive? Did she not? It's an either way question. I personally want her to have survived. I want them to raise this child together in a unique way. Plus, it allows the ability to get rid of the kid from an episode without going, where is he? Who did they leave him with? And all those tropes that come with that. I personally find it annoying, because I actually want to know. And let's face it, if you're a single father, you can't be mayor of the city and vigilante and raise a kid. You have to know where that kid is, because that's the whole trope of the show at that point. Moving on to The Flash. We don't see any new scenes with Barry, just a lot of him running that could be cut from anywhere. So this is a good thing. At least, hopefully this means we're going to get an episode or two without Barry in the mix. The interesting things we did get were the fact that Cisco is stepping up. He's suiting up, and he's helping protect the city with Wally West, Kid Flash. So, but Wally West is still just Kid Flash. He's still wearing that yellow costume. He hasn't gotten into Barry's, or a version of Barry's, to start saying he's the Flash now and the Flash is gone. That's a little disappointing. After 4 months, you would think that is what they would do. Another big reveal is Caitlin Snow is no longer Killer Frost. Maybe just in personality, or it could be that somehow she got rid of her cold powers. I don't want this. I want Caitlin to struggle and overcome the fact that she is Killer Frost. I want her to control those powers. I want her to use them for good, or, and well, definitely, occasionally, fuck up. Now, moving on to Supergirl. Supergirl revealed that it's going to be a lot darker tone. She is, by the sounds of it, getting rid of Kara Danvers, her secret identity, or at least moving her to the background a lot. So it's not going to be she wants to succeed as both. She just wants to be Supergirl so she can protect the planet better. This is interesting.
Let's go for Sash first.
And I don't know how I feel about it. I like the idea that she's no longer going to be a reporter. She was a terrible fucking reporter. But I liked her a lot in the first season. Not like the building of the character or anything, but I liked her. That's what she did. She was a assistant to Cat Grant. Now, I want her to have something like that that's separate from being a reporter. That's just a carbon copy of Superman. She's terrible at it, so it's really not that carbon of a copy. Because Clark Kent is supposed to be a good reporter. Not a great one such as Lois Lane, but a good one. So, this is a weird direction to take this series, especially it being the lightest one of the CWs. Outside of Legends, but Legends is a whole other map. Sorry. Legends is a whole other mess. All in and of itself.
I really hope that's genuine.
Hi, sorry about that, battery died. We were talking about Young Justice when we left off. Now, all the news released in San Diego Comic-Con about Young Justice was mainly focused on that picture with all the new characters. And old characters returning, of course. So, some of the new characters include Arrowette, spoiler, Static, 13, and that's all the new characters. Now, spoilers awesome. Girlfriend of Robin, and a very important, well, relatively important Bat Family character, which is great. Arrowhead is another sidekick to the Green Arrow. I don't know much about her. Could be interesting, considering the last sidekick wasn't really a sidekick. Artemis, who is returning as part of the special ops, which is great. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see her. Static, on the other hand, Static Shock, it will be very interesting. He hasn't been really seen since, I believe Justice League actually did a future version of him. And that's really interesting because I do remember watching the Static show as a kid. So I never realized it was part of DC, never really put it together that, oh yeah, this could be connected with Batman and Superman and all that. But yeah, all the problems they've been having with Static and getting him into the comic version of Rebirth and having him as a playable character in Injustice 2. It's great to see that he's actually going to be able to be used again, and hopefully this means that he can be used in other places. Now, it's no guarantee, but let's hope. There's hope here. That's what it gets. Now, onto the other picture they released of the Special Ops team, which included Artemis, Nightwing, Black Lightning, and Superboy. Now, this means Black Lightning, even by from the picture, he looks not as older as Static. Black Lightning, and while they're releasing that new show, where he's an older, more grizzled superhero, and normally he's in there with, like, he's your Batman age and all that, and a lot of people make the mistake thinking that Black Lightning and Static Shock are well, either the same, or Static is his protege, which isn't true. They're really not connected except for their power sets, really, which is interesting to have, which is good to have. You're bound to have the same power sets with people not even meeting each other. But I don't know how I feel about this Black Lightning being as young as, say, Artemis and Nightwing and them. But to show that they have a separate Black Ops team is interesting. And let's face it, I'm going to watch this show no matter what. Now, back to the regular characters. Is the new Kid Flash Bart Allen? Like, Impulse from the comics, because he did take that suit at the end of the last season. So it's probably him. And is Robin still Tim Drake? Or is this Robin, Batman's current Robin, Damian Wayne? These will probably all be answered during the show, so I'm happy with this. It's just gonna be annoying to wait till 2018 to see this. I'm really anticipating it, and I love these characters, so I can't wait to see it come back. So yeah, mostly positive news. Now, moving on to some Marvel news. We obviously got that amazing Thor 3 trailer, Thor Ragnarok. I'm still excited about this movie. It really hasn't changed between I'm pumped for it, I'm not any more excited, I'm not any less excited. It's very much like the Justice League trailer. But I have more faith in this one because of Marvel. And I'm not hypercritical of movies. It's not something I have been able to do. So I actually enjoyed Thor 1. Like, that was a huge surprise. And I didn't see Thor 2 until I saw the reviews for it, so I went in for lower expectations. And it actually exceeded them just a touch. Like, it's not the best MCU movie, but I still enjoyed it. That's the thing with Thor. I'm pretty sure no matter what, we're going to enjoy it. Same with the Hulk movies. Put these two together, people typically enjoyed them, and I put myself into regular movie-going audience. I'm not hypercritical, and the biggest thing with those are the critical flops, not necessarily financial or consumer flops.
And the great ones.
Now, as for the Avengers footage, I haven't looked it up. I probably should, but the Avengers footage has been officially released, so I just wanted to leave it, wait till the next trailer comes out, or something. I've heard general descriptions of it. It's Thor crashing into the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. So it looks crazy, and the poster looks interesting. And for as many characters that should be in it, there don't seem to be many in it. There are a lot of things that they need to clear up with this movie, and like get everybody together, how they're going to get together, how Cap's going to come back, how Bucky with being in frozen in Wakanda till they can fix his head. Stuff like that. They're all going to need to be there. The big thing is no Captain Marvel. We don't have another super cosmic being to fight along with them. I think that's a real hit, because with making the Captain Marvel movie a retro movie from the 90s, featuring a lot of Nick Fury, which is awesome, that's a great idea, but that idea should have been thought of before Infinity War. Now, the next Captain Marvel movie, I believe, is slated before the next Avengers movie after that, so maybe she steps up and becomes the leader of the Avengers in that time, or they reveal somehow where she's been, but she's been confirmed to not be in this movie, which I find a shame. And now I'm really wondering if they're just going to cop out on how to win this, because their powerhouses include Thor and Hulk, Gamora, Drax, but those have already shown to be ineffectual against Thanos, well, the second two, before he even got the Infinity Gauntlet. Now it's going to be a lot of thinking outside the box, to try to produce a story that is believable, that this mad titan that they've been building up could actually be defeated by these people. But hey, that's just my opinion. How about we move on to some Marvel TV news? The Inhumans trailer, I believe, got an extension or a second trailer. I honestly don't know how I feel about this. It is a very... why these characters exist in this universe is mind-boggling. These characters should be up there with the Avengers and other powerhouses like that. They're not going to show these characters in the movies or cross them over in any way. They might do slight references, but if you're not going to cross these absolute massive powerhouses over, what's the point of having them? Like, at least with the DC shows, they're separate. So you know that they will never cross over, and they can have some super powerful people like Supergirl, but never have to introduce her in the movies. Or even have Superman show up in Supergirl and have it be okay, and have it be a different actor. People aren't that stupid. I think they just believe people are stupid and will get things confused. The common movie-going audience, they're mostly fans of just the movies. They don't watch the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Some probably don't even watch the Netflix shows. And they don't directly connect in any way. And we're not going to get any of the Defenders in this movie. We're not going to get anybody from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., including Coulson, which is sad because I really want them to reveal Coulson's still alive and get that reaction out of people. But yeah, like, I'm not excited for the show. I'll probably tune in for the premiere just to give it a shot. I'm willing to give any superhero show a shot. Kind of bit my butt on Gotham, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so next up is The Gifted and Legion. Now, I mention these together because they are both X-Men shows. They're both produced by Fox. Neither one are going to connect to movies, which was just revealed. The Gifted looks really good. Like, a very Heroes-esque show, which I'm pumped. I loved Heroes. I even enjoyed, for the most part, the later seasons when they fell off. But yeah, I hope it lasts. I hope it's good as promised. And I hope they throw in some known characters in there. Not just like slightly known, like Blink. But not like your top tier. There's no need to have the top tier X-Men in there. But they're like, if you threw in a Jubilee, if you threw in a Nightcrawler, well, Nightcrawler is pretty top tier. But Nightcrawler also is somebody that needs to hide a lot. Because Nightcrawler is very clearly does not look human. So, as for Legion, Legion might be introducing a movie version, a TV version of Professor X, which is great. It still looks like it's separate. I still haven't finished watching Legion. It's a very mental show that you have to be in the right place to see it. But if you do get a chance, I very much recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that's it for the Marvel TV side of things. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. There was a new Defenders trailer, which again looks awesome. Can't wait to see what Sigourney Weaver brings to whatever role she's playing. I'm still not quite sure what that is. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what this does. I wasn't the biggest fan of Iron Fist, but I still enjoyed that show, which is not something you should say online, because everybody hated that show. But yeah, like, there's not, and nothing came out about Cloak and Dagger either. I haven't heard much about that, but that is another Marvel show. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for that. Hope not to be disappointed. Alright, that's it for the Marvel and DC news. Let's move on to some other things released from San Diego Comic-Con. So, to wrap this up, I'm going to go over some other things that I released either in San Diego Comic-Con or otherwise. The otherwise is one trailer that I honestly can't remember if it was part of San Diego Comic-Con or if it just got released during the same week. So, let's start with that one actually. It's the It trailer. It has me worried. I can't wait to see this. I'm a big fan of the original movie. I remember watching it as a kid, as messed up as that sounds, and my mom was a very weird mother. Anyways, so I went back recently, of course after the first trailer came out, and rewatched that movie. It was very, very clearly a mini-series. So it was very good. And the most intriguing part, and the part I actually really liked the most, is the way they told the story. They really did start off with the kids, what happened a little bit to them, and they jump. Now they're adults. Quite a lot of successful adults, to be honest. Wonder why that is. Get to that in a second. And then, as the adults get called back mysteriously to their hometown, because it is back. They get called back mysteriously to their hometown. Once they get there, they start reliving and regaining old memories, and they go do flashbacks of how they first encountered this as a kid, how they first defeated it as a kid. And that could be why they're so successful, is maybe, sorry about that, camera overheated this time, it's really hot here today. So, back to it. The last thing I was going to talk to you about was, honestly, it's just that Kingsman meets Archer. It's a short clip. I very much recommend that you watch it. Not really going to spoil it. It's Archer meets Eggsy from Kingsman. It's hilarious. You need to watch it. Links in the description. As well, I will post many links to the description in the description for all the trailers that were released and a couple of the articles I got information from. That's it for this week. Thanks again for joining me. This has been This Week in Geek. Again, I'm Jesse. This is Jaffe Duck Productions. I will see you next week. Goodbye.